ugly as Dash of Dave. He'll take some scraps and bits of this, turn them into something you can't miss. Junk journals, tapes, and crops galore. He'll have you begging, show me more. Oh, Dash of Dave, oh, what a sight, mixing colors day and night.
Hello everyone, it's Dash of Dave here, and I'm back for another crafty video. So this is a video of two halves. I'm going to share with you a few things that I picked up at a heritage centre. So it's they're technically old things, just not of any great worth because I don't have lots of money to be able to afford to buy things of great worth. But it's kind of an antiques heritage sort of place with lots of little stalls that are unmanned, and you kind of go in there and you pick up things, and they've got little numbers on, and then you take them to the counter, and they apportion the money that they take to that stall holder, basically. So anyway, it's at a place called Elsica. I think I've talked to you about it before. I've had a courtesy car for the last couple of weeks because, as some of you know, somebody wrote my car off. They drove into me, and they've admitted liability, etc. And I'm getting a bit of a payout. It does mean that I'm going to be without a car. I'm not going to be in a great financial state because of that. But anyway, I've had this wonderful courtesy car, and I wanted to take it for a spin. And it's been a long time since I found a real reliable car and a new one. So I wanted to take it for a spin. So we went to Elsica Heritage Centre, which is about an hour's drive away from here. So anyway, let's just go through what I bought, and then we're going to make something that's inspired by something in this pile. So I will talk about what we've got, and then we will make something. How's that? So first of all, let's just move those to one side, and we will look at this pile. So there were just a few things listed around. So there were these. So these are guaranteed rustless, which is interesting because they've got rusty marks on. So don't know how that guarantee is holding up, but it says made in England. They are corset hooks and eyes, Newlys, guaranteed rustless, rustless, not restless. And these were £1. So I picked those up. Just liked the card that they were on. Also thought maybe I could do something with the hooks. And yeah, so anyway, that's one of the things. This is a little 21st birthday gift. So for anybody that doesn't know, 4th of August is my birthday. To me, that's tomorrow. To you guys, that was last week. Because I film my videos in advance. So you're watching this on the Wednesday, which is Wednesday the 13th, I believe, and my birthday was Monday the 4th, which is tomorrow to me. So it's because I'm filming this on Sunday the 3rd. Gets very confusing, I know. But anyway, this is a little birthday card. This is one that has been written in. This was 50p, only a few cents for. So I guess it's about, what's that, about 40 cents for you guys in America, and it just says Mr. and Mrs. White and Edna. So a little gift that comes to say, have a truly happy birthday. No, it doesn't even say birthday. Have a truly happy day. Many happy returns too. Anyway, so it's a little birthday card. I just liked it. I thought I might get some inspiration from it if I don't use it. I probably won't use it. I have to say, I tend to buy things for the inspiration rather than to use. There's this here. So this was reduced. This was reduced from £3 down to £1. They tried to peel the sticker off, and then ended up peeling the surface of this off, which I kind of yelped at, and I said, please leave it. I will take it off myself. So I'll heat this up at some point and peel it off, and hopefully it'll come off without taking the surface of this off. If it doesn't, never mind. I rescued it anyway. So this is it's a Royal Auction bridge. So it's a bridge score tally thing. So it's a little book of little bridge things. It's obviously come apart, so this is one of them. I don't play bridge. I don't know much about it. I just liked it. It was £1. It's got a pencil with it. The pencil is obviously never been used. Look at that. Anotto bridge pencil, made in England. And it's a little pen. So it's just nice. Like I say, not planning to use it, but may use it for inspiration. The ones that have come off from the back, I might use in a journal or something like that. So there's that. There's this. Oh, let's just move that out of the way. There's this, which is it's not anything of great age, I don't think. It's just a woven, like a plant runner. So they would have gone on a sideboard if you put plants on it, so it didn't leave ring marks on your wooden furniture. And I just liked it. I think it's a bit Christmassy. I haven't taken it out of the thing. Don't like taking them out. Sometimes they smell a bit and they need a bit of airing before I take them out, so I will just leave it in there for now. And also then there were these, which are vinyl lace look washable reusable doilies. So these are let's just open it just like these, because these are, I think they are kind of going to be like plastic. Oh, they are plastic. What the reason for buying these is when you're doing coffee dyeing, if you use proper lace, not lace, if you only, you can use proper lace, but if you're using like paper doilies, they tend to disintegrate, and yet those don't, and they leave a nice pattern. So that's those. I think they were about £1 as well. That I can't remember, about £2, £3, something like that. So then there was these. Okay, so these are greetings cards. They are older greetings cards. They say printed in England. They don't. Oh no, they don't say how much they were. That says 1/81. I don't think that's a price. And this one is remembering you on your birthday with a wish that you'll possess the things in life that count the most to bring true happiness. May pleasant memories cheer you, and may joy be yours today. Most of all, may each tomorrow find you just as glad and gay. Well, that's perfect for me then, isn't it? Definitely glad and gay. Sorry, the old one's the best. That's why I'm still here. But I just liked it. I liked that little, you don't get birthday cards like that anymore, especially where you've got something on the back and the front that, and it was nice, and it's an unused one. So again, this is another one, a very similar sort of thing. I just liked them. There were a few others, but I liked these. These were the two brighter ones. This one, here's my happy birthday wish that is true and most sincere, filled with joyous memories of days that glow with cheer. Oh dear. May the hours bring pleasures that will make your heart feel gay. Definitely, that's true. And a wealth of newfound gladness as you welcome each new day. So yeah, sorry about the reading. I'm dyslexic. Trying to read, cursive handwriting is not, it's not not easy for me. Anyway, I'm going to come back to those in a minute because there's something I want to talk about regarding these. But then there was these. Now this is a stack of 2 boxes of tea cards, and it was £3 for the whole 2 boxes, which is unheard of. I've looked at so some of them say what they are. So it'll say Tropical Brook Bond. It looks, so the selling price, this was £4. This is a full set of these are birds, this particular one, and it's a full set. Now that was £4. I've counted up how much each one had been priced at originally, and it was £37. So to get the whole lot for to get the whole lot for £3 means I saved £34 on that. So I will obviously have a look through all of these at some point, but they are just like tea cards. Let's just take this apart and I will show you. Well, not just, but they are birds. So there are lots of lovely, beautiful birds, and it's nice because there were other stalls that had got these exact things. I hadn't seen this until we got to the end, and we were at the till, and they were next to the till, and they were in like a little sale area, and I saw them and thought, oh, I'm having those. I don't care what's in them. But I had seen some bird tea cards as we were walking around, and I'm not paying that for them. I think they were £8 for that. It was that set, and it was a full set, and it was £8, and I wasn't paying that for that. So anyway, so there's some birds, there's some boats and some birds, and anything else that we get. These are Brook Bond British. This is butterflies. So boats, birds, and butterflies. Are they really trying to test my ability? So these are Brook Bond boats, birds, and butterflies. This is also a full set, and so these are butterflies in here. So there's some butterflies clearly in there. What else have we got? We've got this is Asian wildlife, so that's easier to say. So there's things like deer and water buffalo and all sorts of things, monkeys, and obviously that's a turtle or a tortoise, I don't know, one of the two. Again, Brook Bond tea. So Brook Bond tea was, I think Brook Bond tea still makes tea, but they don't do cards anymore. So what's this? This is British costume, Brook Bond British costume, 42 of a set of 50. It's a part set. So anyway, it's costumes and things. So there's, some nice things that you could use quite easily in a journal of some kind. And we all like a tea card, don't we? Let's face it, we all get a bit excited about a tea card. That's them. Let's have a look at what we've got here. I haven't really looked at these in any great detail. We've got more boats or ships, maybe navy ships. Oh, these are Ringtons. So Ringtons is another brand of tea in the UK. Rington. Oh, it's a full set. It's 1963. This set was. I don't know whether the other ones told me. Did it tell me what date they were? Oh yeah, 1963. Are they all 1963? 1970. What do we got? What are the birds ones? Birds are 1961. They don't do these cards anymore. The Asian wildlife are 1962. So anyway, what were they? 1967. They don't do tea cards anymore. They don't put tea cards in tea. This was Lions, so Lions tea. Wings of Speed. That's a full set as well. That's a 1961 set. We've got Brook Bond stroke Oxo. They must be part of the same group, or were at least then. And these are 1978. 23 of a set of 40. This is Police File. Brook Bond Police File. Oh, that could be good in my little crime journal, couldn't it? That's 34 of a set of 40. That's 1977. What have we got here? This is, looks like planes. Lions Australia series. Oh, I see. They're 48. It's a full set, and they're from 1959. What? Lions tea. Sorry, couldn't remember who they were. So this one is Brook Bond tea, and these were Sage of Ships. Apparently it's a part set with 5, 25, 35, 38 missing. 1970, so only a few missing from that set. Anyway, that's those. There's another box of them. So in here there's a packet. So these are cigarette cards. So these are Grandee cigars, which are John Player, famous MG marquees. 1 to 27 of 28 cards, so number 28 is missing. 1981 they were. I'm not going to go into any great detail on these. Anyway, British costumes. So there's just loads. So there's a couple of these duplicates seem to be in here, so they look like things we've already seen. But very interesting. I'm not going to show you them all because we could be here all day just looking at those. So what I wanted to show you was these. Now the reason why I've left these till last is because we're going to do something with these. So these are old paper bags. Now they don't, I realise they don't excite every person. These were £1.50 for all of them. So we've got Boots the chemist. It's a chemist in the UK, still going now, been going for, I don't know, 150 years, something like that. Anyway, so Boots, but little paper bags that you don't get paper bags in the UK anymore. Everything comes in a plastic bag these days. Thurston's is a baker's. It's not something I'm familiar with. It's something that was up north, and I used to live in the Midlands when I was growing up. But Fox's, never heard of them as a music centre. Fox's Biscuits I've heard of. Fox's Glacier Mints I've heard of. But these are Fox's music centres. Again, probably from up around this area. Greetings from Memory Lane, another bag. This is more from Thurston's. Just baked for me, Thurston's. So very reminiscent. It's really weird. I can almost smell bakery. I mean, I know I can't because there won't be anything left smell-wise. Stretch. I don't know how you pronounce that, but that's confectioners and chocolatiers, and that's another one never heard of. Then we've got a little red stripe one, and then we've got a little brown one. Okay, so anyway, so I really like the crunchiness of these. I have a little confession to make. Those are all old ones, and these aren't. So this is a new thing that I bought. Went to a craft shop, bought something from a craft shop. They put it in one of these paper bags, and then I dirtied it up, screwed it up, dirtied it up, and made it look old. And then I thought, you know what? Because I just bought those, I thought, I could do something with that. And then I thought, this. So this looks like it's old, but it isn't. I actually made this one. I made this one from scratch. And that's what we're going to do today. Is we're going to make one, and we're going to make a little paper bag, hopefully to inspire you to make some paper bags to put in your journals and not have to just think about all of the old things that you wish that you'd kept from times gone by. So we're going to pop these away, and we will make a little paper bag together, and I'll show you just how easy it is. So I'm sure you already know, but I'm going to show you anyway, because it would be boring if I didn't. So what's the point of being here if I'm not going to make something for you? So we will use a couple of different things. I'll show you how to make it. So I'm going to make one out of some, so this was just wrapped around a flower, and I thought, oh, let's use that. And we will also use what I made this one with, and that's just some deli wrap. So this stuff. So first of all, we will make the green one, because I haven't made one with this before, and I'm going to use the inside of it. So this has got a shiny side, and it's also got an FSC logo, which is the Forestry Something Commission. So basically, it's sustainable paper. So we're going to turn this into a bag. First of all, we are going to just find enough paper to make it with. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cut this into kind of a big square, a big rectangle even. So we're going to just use one of the square there's one of the squared off edges. Okay, and we're going to cut it so that it's all nice and straight. So let's just cut it into a square, because this isn't a square. So first of all, I'm just going to cut this bottom bit edge off. That was not a very good cut, Dave. And I'll show you what I did to make something look old when it wasn't. Okay, so that's going to be the bottom half of it. So then we want to go to, let's go to about where should we go? To about there. Otherwise we're not going to, it's going to fall off this edge. We'll go to about there, and we will cut that. Oh. So I'm just using a quilter square, because although it's not square, it's still apparently still called a quilter square, which is something I questioned when somebody said it's called a squilters. No, it doesn't. It's not called a squilters anything. It's called a quilter square, and I said, but it's not square. Oh, it doesn't make any difference. Oh well, that's not very good then, is it? It's not fit for purpose if they're not calling it the right name. So. And then I'm just going to square this bit off. So obviously you can use a piece. You could use a piece of parcel wrap, or you could indeed use a piece of Amazon packaging. Okay, so I appreciate there's a gap here. It's not perfectly straight, but I'm not going to worry about it. So this crease we're not going to worry about. What we're going to do, what you want to do is basically we're going to do it down the side, because it seems to be the thing. So we're going to fold it so that we have a bit there, and then we want a join that's down the side like this. Okay, so we're going to overlap it like this, but we're not going to glue it down just yet. What we want to do is we want to create that air of authenticity. Okay, so what we're going to do is, this is the back. So the front, we want to put a bit of a zigzag line in. I know that my piece is missing here, but I'm going to emphasize that as though time has had its effect. So I am just going to scallop my edge. I beg your pardon. I'm going to I'm going to scallop the edge. So I'm just going to scallop the bottom edge, and that's just because it gives it that authentic feeling. I always feel that they always had, let's just see, not all, but they had a bit of a, see how it's got that kind of a edge? It's got that, or it's not scalloped, it's kind of ripped off sort of edge, and it's that edge is repeated on the bottom bit here. So this is what we're doing with this. We're kind of making this a bit more authentic like that. And then the piece that's going to go over and overlap, we're also going to put that scallop on, just to give it that feeling of age. So we're going to go over the edge, always going over the edge. Oh no, going over the top now, that's optional. So there we go, that's that scalloped edge now, and then we're also going to do that on the top. Now remember on the top of these, let's just pull that, keep doing this, don't I? So if you look at this top of this bag, the back of the bag was always a bit longer than the front. Okay, so we're going to do, let's just put that to one side rather than putting it away, and we're going to do that again. So we're going to do, so this is the back, so that's going to be a bit longer. So this front bit, we're going to open it out, and we're just going to cut it down the side a little. I'm going to cut it to about there, and we're going to do that there, and then we're going to cut that bit off with a scallop. And it doesn't have to be straight, because it didn't always get cut with a straight line. There we go, so that's off there. Okay, we're also going to cut this top edge with a bit of a scallop, but not as far down. We're just going to cut the very tip off, just so it's got a scalloped edge across the very top. There we go. Cool. Let's put that back onto there. So that's going to be our, flip that over. There we go. So that's going to be our, oh, that bit needs to be chopped, doesn't it? So that piece there. Nope, you do it the other way, Dave. That needs to be cut down. Oh, down there. We need to cut that bit off in the same way. There we go. So that's our back of our bag. This is our front of our bag, and so that also means that the front of our bag is going to fold over to the back. So what we'll do is we're just going to put a fold in here. I'm just going to fold it against a ruler. And like, you know, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Remember, these things were probably handmade. I don't know, never worked in a paper bag factory, have no idea of said truths to this. So just going to fold this bit up so that we're putting a reference fold in it. There we go. And we're going to cut this piece away. So we're just going to cut it with a straight line, because you're not going to see this piece. This is going to be hidden by the fold. I'm going to cut it up to that line there, and I'm going to cut that off. And then we're going to do the same on that little fold back there. And cut that off. Then we are going to sit it like that, so that's going to fold like that, and this is going to fold up to here. And so remember, this is like we've got this kind of edge that's not straight because of the shape that we had, but the shape of the overall thing feels right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink this edge, because it will make it, hopefully it will make it stand out a little bit. Let's just get something that is going to give it some, let's use that, let's use some vintage photo just on the very edge. Just give it a look, it gives it that kind of feeling of age. I'm even going to go down to that bit that looks like it's been torn away. Because I guess if we could, we would all be over the moon about. Now I'm not going to use, sorry, let me finish my sentence, Dave. we would all be over the moon about having some old paper bags that we could just, you know, use in our journal things. Now, I appreciate you can still get, in some countries, you can still get new ones, and that's great. But the new ones don't look as good, personally. I don't think, anyway. But also, wouldn't it be nice if you could get these older things? And have the kind of vintage, but this is what we're doing, is we're making it look vintage without it being vintage. So, and then you can brag about this old bag that you found in a thrift store, and it's not actually, it's not a genuinely old one. So we're just going to ink the rest of that now. Okay, so I'm not going to over ink it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue up this edge. Now there's two things I'm going to do. I'm going to glue along this edge, so this raw edge that you can't, you don't have a, that isn't scalloped. So I'm going to glue up there, but I'm also going to glue up here, because then where they fold over, they will. So this bit will stick to however far in it comes to this, and this bit will stick however far it comes into there, and they will just sit together nicely that way. So you just want to kind of flatten it down so it locks in place. Remember, the edges, doesn't matter if they kind of just flip up, because it does if you look at this old bag. So this old bag, this has got a straight edge, but this as well, you know, it's got flipped up in little parts and such, and the like. And then we're going to fold this up, and we're going to glue all of that down, not worrying again about the scallops, because the scallops just make it look a bit older if they get a bit flipped over. And that's going to go folded up, folded up. Okay, that's going to be stuck down. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put something on the front of it to make it feel like it is of an age. Now, obviously, if you're going to be scrunching it, which we're going to do in a minute, you don't really want to be sticking anything to it, because it'll just come off. So I'm going to be using this, which is a stamp. It's actually a stamp for making an envelope, little envelope fold thing. I'm not going to do that though. What I'm going to do is, just like I've done here, just going to stamp the inner bit, or not. No, that's cherry red. We don't want cherry red. We want black. Leave. Cool. Okay. I'm just going to stamp this in a bit, and just make this like our logo on our bag. Wipe away any bits where it's you've over, well, you won't have this, but like any bits where I've kind of gone over this bit, because I don't want that to appear on my bag. Okay, cool. And then we're going to flip it over. I'm going to pop that on there, and that's going to be our logo on our bag. I'm going to try and get it somewhere in the middle. We'll pop that on there. And then we will get some, I think I'm going to cheat, and I think I'm going to use this stamp, but I'm going to leave the D off and call it Raft. Alright, oh sorry, RAF. RAFT, yeah, so Raft. So I'm going to call it Raft, and that's what our name is going to be. So that's our little logo on there. I could have, oh, I could have New York stamped at the bottom. So I'll pop that on there, and we will have New York. Yep, there we go. Put the lid on that one. And then on this, we will do it in, let's do it in red because it's here. And we will just miss the D off when we're stamping. Now if I do manage to catch the D, which I could possibly end up catching the D, I will just wipe it off. Yeah, I've caught some of the D. In my attempt to get the rest of it, I'm just going to wipe that off with my thumb so it doesn't print. And we're going to have that on, have it on there. Okay. I don't know what shop that is. So this is a little bit wet, so I just want to dry it off with a thing before I do anything to it. You know when you put your fingers in something, I think, is that dry? And no, it isn't. The only way you know it's not dry is because you just put your fingers in it. Let's just... Now, if it doesn't matter if it smudges a little bit, because they did. So, there we go. So that's that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to screw it up. Not because I don't like it, but because I do. And we're going to open it out a bit because we want to give it that kind of authenticity of it's been used, it's been abused, it's been used more than once. It's had your vegetables in it, and then you've used it to give your friend a cookie to take home, or I don't know, you took your lunch to work in it one day. So we're just going to keep screwing it up and opening it out until we're kind of happy with how it looks. You want it to feel, if you want it to be really old, you just want to keep scrunching it until you kind of really break all the fibres down, and it becomes, they become a little bit limp after a while because the fibres don't have any kind of rigidity to them. It's funny, that rigidity, I couldn't say it, I don't think it was the last video and I wasn't able to say it, and now I can for some reason. So then what you want to do is, once you've got it the way that you want it to, you can just flatten it out. You can even give it a bit of an iron, and then it will have all of the creases in it, but it won't be quite so, because you can see they kind of get a little bit smaller. They get a little bit smaller. But if you iron it out, then it will go back to the size it was before you started, but it'll still have all of those lovely creases in it because you won't actually be able to iron the creases out. So that is that one that we've made. So let's get rid of all of these pieces. And that was just off a flower wrapper. How amazing is that? And we will make another one, but we'll make it out of this deli paper. So making one from a deli paper, very simple. We're going to do this one with the seam down the back, like I did on this one. And we're just going to let's see if any of them. No, they're all like that. So again, this is deli paper. So this does have like a waxy feel to it. So I'm going to have the waxy bit. This is more waxy this side. I'm going to have the waxy bit on the inside. But again, what we're going to do is we're going to make this. And we're going to do it slightly different. We're going to make a gusseted one this time. So we're going to fold it over and we're going to do the join in the middle. So that's going to go there. And that's going to go there. Okay. Then what we're going to do is going to fold this in. So you want to fold it the same width. So you've got the same gusset either side. So I'm going to use the width of a ruler. Size of an elephant, no, width of a ruler, and I'm just going to fold that there and then just fold that in. Yeah, and then we're going to do the same on this side. So I want to flatten that down there, and I'm going to fold that side up and just fold that to the width of that ruler. And fold that in, Okay, so this time what we're going to do is just going to open that out and we're going to reverse those folds. So that's going to go in. This one that's sticking out is going to go back on itself. I've made these before. I think if you've watched me for any length of time, you'll have seen me make these before. And then back on itself again, that way. So that's our gusset down one side. And we'll do the other side. Again, that one folds in. That one that is currently a mountain fold will become a valley fold. Just want to try and get it back on that same line, Dave. Go on, give it a go. See if you can. There you go. And then that one that way. It's a little bit easier if you use something like a coffee dyed piece of paper or something like that, because it's not quite as flimsy, but we don't mind. So once we've done that, what we're going to do is going to fold the bottom of this up. Put that in. Okay, so there we go. So that's going to be our gusseted bag. Okay. So just make sure that goes in there. Cool. So now what we're going to do is we are going to stamp something on the front of it. I don't know what. It doesn't really matter because it's just a bit of fun at the end of the day, so it doesn't matter what we stamp on it. Let's put this on. Right, it feels like a good time to use this one. This is Textures by Lou Collins. So we're going to use this stamp. This one. We'll get a nice stamp block to put it onto, like that. So, had a drink, feel a bit better now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this onto here. So I'm going to stamp this kind of here. I don't even know what it says, but it doesn't matter. That's not the point of it. We're just doing something because it looks good. So should we go black? Should we go green? Let's go green. Should we go with the nice new green or with the horrible? No, it's not the horrible old green. It's a nice green. The other green is nice green as well, but it's just a darker green. Let's go with this green. This is a really bright green. It's a very grassy green. So I don't want to get all of the edge on it, so I'm just going to wipe that with my finger. Oh dear, that's all over me. Oh well. Oh well, we knew that would happen. So we're going to pop that on there and we're going to get that in the middle of the gussets and we're going to press it down and we're going to hope that Dave didn't smudge it. So push it down. And remember, if it doesn't make perfect contact, we're not going to panic about it. We're just going to accept it. We're going to take it off. Oh, that's all right. That's fine. So, okay. So that's on there now. We need to let that kind of just dry and do its thing. So whilst we're doing that, we're going to flip this back over and we're just going to open it out and we're going to glue this center line down before we do the next bit. Because, you know, I realised that it's been a while since I've shown you how to make this. So we're just going to glue down here. Now I'm not going to flute the edge of this one. Oh, Dave, it'd be nice if we could do a straight line. So we're going to go all the way down on that side, and then we're going to go all the way down on this. Because remember, this is the one that's crossing over onto that one. And then that's going to fold over there, and those two will kind of overlap in the middle, which they do, which is good. We don't want to press it down too much though, Dave, because that looks like it's squirting out on the inside, and there is that bit there as well. But there we go. So that's that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to take out these gussets. So where we've put them in, we're just going to take them out for a minute, because we're going to need to put the bottom gusset in, and I'm going to show you the easiest way to do that. But now we've folded it one way, which it should fold back the other way again fairly easily. Okay, so we're going to fold it down like that. Okay, and now what we want to do is we want to take this piece, and so what we're going to do is we're going to hold the bottom piece with our one of our fingers, and the top piece with our other finger, and we want to fold it up. Let's get it to go lie flat first. In fact, I'm going to put that on there just to weight it all down. So we're going to hold that bit down. This bit at the top, at the bottom here, we're going to, sorry, at the top here, we're going to fold this kind of over onto itself. Okay, so you're kind of forming two triangles either side here. There, and we should have another triangle on this side. Of course, it's not going to behave now, is it? Not the easiest paper to work with, I will be very honest with you. Oh my goodness me, I wished I'd not decided to use this paper, to be fair. So that piece, like that. This piece like this. I'm going to show you with another piece of paper in a minute, so you can see what I've done. And this piece like this. I'm going to fold that flat like that, flat like that, and then you're going to fold these in on your fold lines, Dave. That'd be useful if you did that. What on earth is going on here? It's all kind of gone skew with, so let's unskew with it. There we go. Better, much better. I shall show you how to do this on a better, more well-behaved bag in a minute. So once we've done that, we're going to put our, where the fold lines go, in. We're going to glue this piece down. And then we're going to glue that piece to it. So that's going to fold over, and that's going to fold over onto that. That's your bits. And then you're just going to fold those bits back into there. So you'll have this gusseted bag now. I'm going to fold those back in. That fold back in. So tuck it back inside. That fold back in. Tuck it back inside. You just want to reverse its direction. This is ASMR, isn't it, now? And then we're going to poke it until it folds in on itself naturally. On all of those foldy bits that you've just done. A lot more crinkling going on than I was expecting. Sorry about the ASMR version of this bag make. There we go. So we've got this gusseted bag that feels a bit old. Now I'm going to show you that because I appreciate that was a bit crinkly and a lot of stuff going on. So I will make it with a piece of. What we're going to do is there is a video on how to do this. And I've shown you before. So what we're going to do is we're going to overlap the two bits So I think in the video I showed you where the middle was, and I drew a line, and we worked towards that. Now I will just do it so that we are overlapping them. So as you can see here, this one, so I'm just gonna angle it a little bit. This is the kind of overlap that you want. You want like about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch overlap, and you want to sit them like that. Make sure that they're lined up at the bottom and the top, and then put those folds in. So we're going to glue it together before we do anything else. So we're going to go down one edge here, and then we're going to go down this other edge here. And I'm going to glue that bit down. Okay, so once we've got it glued over itself, then what we want to do is we want to fold the bottom bit up. So for a gusset, so this is the bottom, so this is the thickness of our gusset. Okay, and then what we're going to do is open it back out again, and what we're going to do is we take the bottom one and hold it down, and the top one and fold it up, and then you want to just shape this so that this comes to a point on one side. Let's just bring it to a point. It comes to a point, and what you want is this folded center line to be at the bottom of your, sorry, going through the middle of where all those other folds are. I'm going to put that into, fold that into shape, and we're going to do the same on this side. Just want to get it to a point, that folded line across this folded edge. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to fold these so that they overlap each other. So that would be to the middle. We're going to again have it so that they sit over across each other. So we're going to put a little line across that line, and then we're going to have another line across here. Fold that so that they sit overlapping each other like that. Okay, and once you've done that, this is the really easy bit. Now this is already predetermined how big your gussets are, because then what you're going to do is you're going to fold this edge in to the point of these here. So you want to fold it so that this line meets up with this line, and that will be your gusset width. And this line meets up with this line. There we go. And then what you're going to do is you're going to unfold it like that, and then we're going to open it up. Now we're going to tuck those bits in. Open it up. So you want to open it fully up until it makes that gusseted bottom shape. And then we're going to fold that crease back on itself, because it's the wrong way round at the moment. So we're going to fold it back on itself. One. Do the same on this side, so that's the one that's the wrong way around at the minute, so we're going to fold it back. Okay. And now's the point where if you've got this kind of like opening here, you can just go in there with your bit of glue and just glue that bit down, so that it doesn't keep gaping open and things don't fall out the bottom of your bag. That's always a useful thing. Put your hand inside and just press that down. Okay, and then you've got your middle crease needs to go the other way as well. I will put the link to the actual video that I did of making these, where I do less of a pig's ear, because it's been a while since I made one. So, and then once you've done that, where this bit where you folded it originally, you're going to fold it again. You're just going to shape it in these corners first, so it kind of just collapses in on itself. The same on this here, collapses in on itself, and then you're going to fold that base up, and press it down, and then you've got a nice old style gusseted bag, which you can then just open out, put your stuff inside, and be done with it. So I could just stamp the same thing on there. Let's do that again then. It's a very juicy stamp, that. Might be a bit of smudging because this is a, yeah, that's also wonky. So I'm going to have to drop it on there, because really you need to have a flat surface to stamp onto. But there we go. Not perfect, but looks old. And there we go. That's our another bag. So we've got this one. Again, you could screw it up and crease it, or you could just make it like I did and make a flat one and have it all just screwed up. And that's the other one that we made, and all inspired by our original aged bags. I will not use these because these are genuine old bags. I will use these ones instead that aren't genuine but are still old bags. Although I have to say, old bag is a derogatory term for an old person, an old female person in the UK. So it's a derogatory term there. So I will not, you will not hear me using it in that context. So anyway, that's it. That's my little video, all inspired by buying some vintage bags, which I could not resist. I know it seems a very weird thing to buy, but I tend to buy all of these weird and wonderful vintage things because they inspire me to make something different, or inspire me to recreate it. So I've recreated this time. So I hope that was fun, interesting, something else to do, something you might give a go of. Don't forget, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and share. I forgot to turn back time. I know it's an old joke and it's been used many times, but anyway, I'm doing it again. Don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you in the next video. So thanks very much for watching. My name is Dash of Dave, and I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Lots of love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you very soon. Bye. Bye.